Welcome back to part two of my two-part presentation. This is my cousin, business partner, Mark Doghramji, co-founder of VPO Games LLC, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about our company and some issues, that you might run into when you have a partnership or an LLC, and not a lot of resources at the beginning of it. Okay, so a little bit about our business. We have a video game business. We literally have a retail video game, e-commerce website.
Online e-commerce.
Online, yeah. We don't have a retail store, and we want it to be mainly e-commerce. We started it in April because I had to do a class project, for my MIS course, and we just thought it would be a great idea to do a video game
Basically,
website.
Take it to the next step in a sense.
We didn't know what we wanted to sell, so that seemed like a great idea, and we both, went headfirst into it, put our own capital in there, and we didn't have that much money at the startup, so we didn't know what we wanted to do. We had no customers, and of course, when you're in this situation, what do? Amazon, eBay. We made a lot of our money through there on third-party sites, from the get-go. But then we found an investor, and that's one of the issues. Finding an investor, if you don't have someone to put in large sums of money, you're pretty much, not going to get that much done.
You're going to need a little bit of help in the capital sense, absolutely.
We had to approach our grandfather, who, we trusts us with not really an operating agreement, but a contract, with some analytics, and to show him, proposing to him what we need from him if he wanted to sign on as an investor. And he actually did. He agreed with us, and he's a lender now, which means that he submits an operating agreement that he doesn't want any capital back. He doesn't want a return on investment at all. He's just literally giving us the money, so he has no liability at all, which is really advantageous because he loaned us.
Important too.
Oh my God,
he doesn't have any liability in it.
It's fantastic. So a couple of the issues that I mentioned already is finding an investor. That's really hard. Of course, finding a lawyer is hard too. How do you know if you can trust a lawyer? Our grandfather, of course, set us up with his lawyer, who drafted
David's a very
Brown,
trustworthy guy.
Esquire. Yeah, he drafted us a really nice operating agreement, which I have attached into this email. You can open it up. It's the first and last page of the operating agreement. I can't give out too much of it.
Yeah.
I mean, so I only put the first and last page, so you guys can get a little bit more of an example of what it's like, a real one. So a couple of things about those. Also, the incorporation of your business is really important. In the definition of an LLC, it said it was an unincorporated form of business, but we incorporated our business in Pennsylvania with our lawyer, David Brown, and we had issues with the bank account. When you want to start something like that, like the fund, you need to have...
You need the bank account in your business name.
Exactly, in your business name, and you can't just do that. You need to be incorporated. You need to have, a tax ID and everything like that. It's pretty serious stuff. Yeah, and there's liabilities to that because at the beginning we had to have people write checks to us personally, and it's not
ideal.
It is not ideal.
Situation,
not at all. So let's see, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, the operating agreement's really tough because we have to make sure that we fulfill all of our responsibilities, which means we have to get balance sheets and stuff like that to our grandfather like every month.
And that's give him a report.
Exactly, and if you fall short of that kind of stuff, your corporation can be liable when you get audited and things like that. You got to keep track of things. And it is tough only being e-commerce because when you think you're going to start a business like that and start selling things, people automatically think you're going to start up a retail store somewhere, have an outlet.
Yeah, and then have a website with it, yeah.
It's just so expensive. We have all the capital we need, and we still don't want to do it like that. Mainly because the economy's terrible. If we had a lot of business and everyone had enough money to spend, we probably would be able to open one and just have it boom in business. But
for now, an online e-commerce store works very perfectly. Actually,
it really does, yeah. And it's fantastic too when you sell through other sites because then the taxes get taken out automatically, which is kind of nice. But it's interesting. So we got through all that, and that's going to be about the end of this presentation, part two. I want to thank my cousin, Mark Doghramji, and co-founder of VPO Games LLC. And that's the end of the presentation. Thanks for watching. Bye.